Hello, I'm Kristen from Kristen Cain Style. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm a style and mindset coach, and I help women build wardrobes they absolutely love wearing. Today, I'm going to talk about a topic that is super near and dear to my heart, and I believe is really important in I'm finding it pretty important in every area of my life. I didn't realize how important until I met the fabulous Sam Laura Brown, who has the Perfectionism Project and Perfectionist Getting Shit Done, which you probably have heard me speak of here before. She talks a lot about self-trust, and she has taught me a lot about self-trust. And I didn't realize how important it is, and I didn't realize how much I was lacking self-trust in a lot of areas in my life. And now that I have a handle on it and I understand it so well, it's something that I really work with my clients on. And I was already doing kind of the same steps that I now teach and now explore and coach on with clients. It's just that I have a much better understanding because I've seen it work in my own life. And so it gives a different dimension to what I'm able to offer to my clients. And so I want to share it here because I think it is vital to creating a style that you love, and having style self-trust is not something that I think is innate. It's not something that we're born with. It's not something that most women have, or it's not something that most women have. I think as we get older, maybe in our 20s we had style self-trust, and maybe not. It's hard to tell. I just know that the women who I work with, who are usually older than 20, have some struggles around trusting themselves with regards to style. So I want to talk about that today. How do you know if you don't have style self-trust? How do you know if that's missing? Usually it's because you're not changing the elements and the things that are bugging you about your style. So if you're struggling with your style and you continue to kind of loop through those same struggles, that you always feel like you have too many clothes and nothing to wear and you want to edit, but you don't do it. You always feel like you need to go buy something new in order to go to an event because you don't think you have what you need in your wardrobe. Your wardrobe isn't supporting your life. You always feel like when you buy something, you end up returning it because it doesn't actually work with the pieces that you have. There are lots of ways that your struggles with regards to your style would show up. And if you're not resolving those struggles, then likely it could be a self-trust problem. Because if you trust yourself to take action and kind of follow through on the actions that would be needed in order to solve the style struggle, then you build that self-trust, which is just an amazing, fabulous thing. It can be anything that you build self-trust in. I'm speaking today with regards to style, and there are women or people who have for their entire lives, been late to things, and they then change their self-trust with regards to tardiness and running late, and they become someone who's on time. Same with procrastinating, same with keeping plants alive, same with, anything that you do in your life that bugs you and it becomes kind of part of your identity, and then you don't really have the self-trust you need in order to change it. And once you start to build the self-trust, the beautiful thing is then you trust yourself a little more. So once you wear the better outfit, you trust yourself to wear the better outfit the next time that the opportunity arises to get dressed and look more put together than you would if you were just defaulting to the pieces you usually wear. The problem with the self-trust is that our brains are designed to keep us safe. Our brains like routine. Our brains like ease. They don't want us to do anything dangerous. They don't want us to branch out and to try something new. They like safe. They like routine. Their job is to conserve energy. And so none of that allows for you to experiment with your style or to really try to change something with regards to your wardrobe and what's happening in your closet. It is possible to create new routines and new habits. I'm certain you've done it in other areas of your life. Style is no different. It takes a little bit of effort up front to make having incredible style effortless, and it is completely possible. That beautiful thing about the neuroplasticity in our brains and the fact that we can go from a rut to creating a new path, kind of a new groove where we're someone who gets dressed and looks amazing and doesn't have any drama around clothing, that is completely possible. We just need to recognize we want it to happen, and then we need to do what needs to happen in order to create the self-trust and ultimately the new identity of being someone who dresses beautifully and regularly, always, that's just the default. How do you develop style self-trust? There are 6 things I'm going to share that I think are helpful in creating that style self-trust that really is what allows getting dressed to be effortless. And so the first is exploration. You really need to understand the truth around why you're not already getting dressed and feeling amazing in your clothing. What is, you need to get curious. You need to play detective a little bit. What is going on in your wardrobe that is not making it feel easy and effortless to get dressed and to put an outfit together and look amazing? And an exercise that I like, that is a Sam Laura Brown exercise that I have used now in lots of areas of my life, is a very simple journaling exercise. And that is, you ask yourself, or you kind of complete the sentence, the truth about my wardrobe is, and then you list as many things as you want. The truth about my clothing is, the truth about my style is, the truth about my budget is, the truth about my body is. Whatever things feel like they're getting in the way of you having the style that you would like to have, do this simple exercise of the truth about my blank is, and just list, just thought download, write it all down. All you're trying to do is understand what your brain is thinking with regards to getting dressed, with regards to your style. What is your brain thinking? So it could be, the truth about my clothes is I have lots of beautiful clothes. The truth about my clothes is I have nothing to wear. Like, it can be that opposite, because your brain can be thinking both of those things, and one of them is getting in the way of you being able to get dressed and look and feel amazing. And number 2 is definition. You really need to define how you want to look and feel. I'm sure you've heard me say that before, because it's kind of the first thing I go to all the time, because if you don't know how you want to look and feel, you don't know what to buy, you don't know what to edit, you don't know what to wear. You need to suspend the limiting beliefs. You need to let go of the things that make you feel like you can't be the better version, the more stylish version of yourself, and kind of create a picture. Envision, who is she? What does she dress like? Who is this next version of me, this stylish version of me? How does she dress? How does she show up? How do you want to look and feel when you get dressed? And journal on that. Really, get clear on what matters to you with regards to your wardrobe, because then you can begin to build and create that wardrobe. The other thing that's good to ask is, how do you believe having better style will make you feel? What are your thoughts around how you think you'll feel once you have a wardrobe you love wearing? Because it's all about the feelings. And if we can begin to create those feelings with the wardrobe you already have, some women think, oh, well, until I can shop and buy a whole new wardrobe at a much different price point, much higher luxury shopping experience, I just can't have good style, or whatever the limitations are. We don't need to go into all of those. But if you can start to feel like you anticipate you're going to feel when you have this luxurious wardrobe, whether that's buying thrifted cashmere or thrifted linen or whatever the thing is, those two for me feel like luxury, whatever the thing is that conjures luxury, if that's part of who the best version of you is, if she's someone who wears luxury, but get clear on how do you think you're gonna feel when you have the style you ultimately dream of, and how can you start to bring those feelings out using the wardrobe you already have. Number 3 is set a goal. What's your goal? Do you want to have an amazing outfit on every single day? Do you want to look really great when you go certain places in your life, certain activities and certain occasions? Do you want to always look really put together for those, but the rest of the time you don't really care? Do you want to, really get dressed 3 days a week, and the rest of the week you're okay with whatever, or you're okay with repeating those really great 3 outfits over the course of the rest of the week, so that you don't have to come up with 7 outfits, but you always look pretty well put together? Do you want to have your closet decluttered by the end of the month? Do you want to have edited and gotten rid of a bunch of clothing, sometime this season, so that you can start the next season with fewer pieces in your closet? Do you want to just have nicer hang out at home clothes that, you're not really looking to elevate and have these amazing elaborate outfits? You just want to feel more fabulous when you're at home hanging out with your family. Whatever your goal is, what is your style goal? It does not have to be big and lofty, and it does not have to be like anyone else's style goal. One little baby step, one little goal that you can achieve will help gain that self-trust. It will help you build the wardrobe that is easy to wear, so that putting on a better outfit becomes the norm, and then you trust yourself all of a sudden to actually look and show up in an outfit that looks put together. And number 4 has to do with temptation. Remove the temptation from your wardrobe when you are trying to build the self-trust around being someone who gets dressed regularly and looks amazing in her clothes. If you can get rid of the pieces that are the lazy go-tos, those pieces that you put on even though they don't feel amazing, they don't look amazing, they might be past their prime, they might not fit really well, whatever the case is, they might have been great for the old you, but this new version of you, they're not congruent with her. Those pieces should be removed. And because they're tempting, the brain likes it easy. So the brain wants to grab those pieces because it doesn't have to think about those. And it's not scary to wear that same old sweater and those same old jeans that don't really fit or look really ratty. So if you remove those from your closet, I'm not saying you have to get rid of them. They don't have to be gone for good. But if you can get them out of your sight so that they're not an option when you get dressed, you will have to pick a better choice, which will create self-trust because you will have chosen the better choice. You will have been safe in doing so. Nothing terrible will happen. So your brain calms down a little bit and says, oh, okay, she wore a different sweater and a different pair of jeans, and actually that was okay. We survived. Okay, so now that sweater and that pair of jeans get moved to the safe zone. You know, like your brain says, okay, that actually worked. We can do that again. We can repeat that. And so if you get the pieces that you don't want to lean on anymore, that aren't really your favorites, if you move those out of the closet, the temptation is gone to kind of default to those pieces again. The next thing is some sort of an affirmation. Now, I am not an affirmation person. I do not say affirmations all the time. I do believe in them, but I'm not really good at remembering to say them when it matters. However, I believe when you are trying to create a new pattern or a new habit or a new identity or self-trust around your style, it can be helpful if there are those limiting beliefs that make you feel like it's not going to be possible for you. It can be helpful to have some sort of a little affirmation that you create. I usually like, in the case where you feel really far away from, where you are now and where you want to go with regards to your style, I do like affirmations that sort of bridge that, so that you're not saying in your mind right now, being stylish and having incredible personal style is not possible for me, to I am the most stylish person I know. I look better than I always have a fabulous outfit on. It's easy for me to get dressed and look amazing. Like, if that's too far to go from this thought to the better thought, then you need a thought that bridges the gap. And so that's really, kind of what I like affirmations for, is when you're really stuck, sometimes it's helpful to think something like, it would be possible for me to be a woman who has incredible style. Incredible style is within reach for me. It doesn't have to be complicated to look better than I look right now. There are ways to kind of pick a sentence that would allow you to explore the possibility that you could create the style self-trust and ultimately the style that you want to present to the world. And it's not going to be too terribly awful, and it's not going to be painful or difficult, and your brain will come along with you for the ride. And so, I am learning to have more style. I am committed to getting dressed a couple times a week. I, am open to the possibility of building a wardrobe that I love wearing. Whatever those things are for you, if you just explore, one or two possible affirmations that when you're starting to feel like this isn't worth the effort, reminding yourself that it's a step in the right direction to creating the self-trust that allows you to have incredible style. And then number 6 is commitment. And so with regards to commitment, you need to commit to doing the actions that will start to build the self-trust that will allow you to start to be someone who has incredible personal style, has the personal style that you dream of having. And you don't want to go too big too fast. You want it to be a stretch, and you want it to be realistic. So if you say, okay, as soon as I turn off this video, I am now going to be a person who every single day gets dressed in the most amazing outfit and has, completely nailed this style self-trust thing, and I've got this, that's probably going to backfire, because as I said, your brain wants you to be safe. It doesn't want you to try new things. It likes the rut because it likes that groove of, same thinking. And so if you just go completely off on a new path, it's probably going to pull you back pretty quickly. And so the better way of going about it is to set sort of a small, kind of way that you can commit. So if the goal is you want to have overall better style every time you go out to lunch with a friend, then, you commit to every time I go out to lunch with a friend, I'm going to put together an outfit that I actually feel amazing in. If that's once a month, if it's once a week, whatever that is for you. And if that's not enough time, then, sort of commit to something maybe a little more bold. 2 times a week, I am going to get dressed and, create an outfit that I actually love wearing. Or some women do it, they would rather, they're kind of more all or nothing, and they would rather do it for 2 solid weeks. 2 weeks, every single day I'm going to get dressed. They kind of plan out their outfits in advance, and they get dressed in real clothes that they really like and, that they're kind of experimenting with for 2 solid weeks. And then they see how they feel at the end. For me, this would probably backfire, because I would be so exhausted at the end of those 2 weeks that I would think, okay, putting the sweatpants back on. I am done with the outfits. That was good. I'll revisit that again, much later. So I think it's a matter of what your personality is like. I would be better to set the goal for 2 times a week, I'm going to wear real clothes. Once a week, I'm going to wear real clothes. Every Sunday when I go to church, I'm going to put on an outfit that I feel amazing in. Or I'm going to plan a date night every 2 weeks so that I can put together an outfit that feels amazing for date night. Whatever it is, commit to it. Don't allow your brain to sabotage, your efforts to create the style that you really want. It is easy to create style self-trust after you've started the process, because there is definite momentum. Once you realize that you can trust yourself to get dressed and look amazing, your brain says, okay, this is safe. We can do this again. We can do this again. We can do this again. And it gets easier to shop and easier to edit your closet and easier to get dressed because you start to trust yourself. I trust myself to know what to buy because I now know I'm going to wear it, or I now know what I actually like. So it's not going to be something that hangs in my closet with the tags on and I have to ultimately return it. I am curious, as always, to hear feedback if any of you try any of this, if this resonates, if style self-trust is something you have a hard time with. It is hard to change. Our brains like things to be easy. They like to think the same thoughts over and over again. They don't want to be challenged. They are designed to conserve energy for things that are more important than creating incredible style. And so if you take kind of the baby steps to pick the new thing, the different thing that you would wear today that would be a little bit up-leveled, a little bit elevated, and then you realize that you lived through that and you know what, I actually felt okay, or I didn't feel okay. Next time I need to try something different because this wasn't the best option for me. Whatever the case is, as you do that, as you take those baby steps in the direction of creating style self-trust, all of a sudden it opens up a whole new world because it's easier to get dressed. It's easier to know what you love. It's easier to know what you don't love. And you can trust yourself to know, I have an occasion coming up, no problem. I know exactly how to put together an outfit for that because I've practiced. So I hope that is helpful. If you have any questions, just drop them down below and I will get to them. Sometimes it takes me a few days, but please know I read every single comment and I really try to reply to every single comment because I love interacting with you here. I am on Instagram. If you're not following me over there, please do. I do a style Q&A every Tuesday at Kristen Cain Style. And if you have questions for the Q&A, I put a question box up on Monday and you can drop in your question and I will answer it and then it gets saved to the replay there. And I'll be back next Friday. I hope you have a wonderful week and thank you so much for watching.